everybody, it's Weather Anchor Mama from weatheranchormama.com. I've been working on this beauty blog thing for quite some time now. I'm not a makeup artist, but I've been doing my makeup for many years, from my pageant days and also for TV. So I've learned and picked up a lot of great tips along the way that I love to share. And the other day, someone asked me how I managed to keep my eyeshadow lasting so long. And I thought, wow, that's a really good question, because it's something that I've had so much problems with in the past, and I figured it all out. I went from using concealer, which works okay. It does allow your makeup to stay on a little longer. However, you still may get a little bit of that creasing after a while. I even try finishing powder, and that works. And sometimes I also find that it dulls the eyeshadow after a while. I even tried just using like the expensive department store brand eyeshadows only. And that's not the answer. But what I do use are primers. And this primer that I bought from MAC, this is a MAC primer. This is called, it's called Bamboom. And I would also add the information in the description box so you know. And you can check it out. But you can find primers anywhere, drugstores, pretty much anywhere. And let me just show you the texture of this one. This one happens to be my favorite. I mean, it does cost a little bit, but I've had this for a very long time. And despite what they say, throwing out your makeup after a few weeks, you don't necessarily have to do that, because you don't have to worry about dipping, using your brush and applying it. I use my fingers, so this doesn't really get contaminated. So here's how it looks. See, it's sort of like a creamy kind of finish, smooth texture. And I start with contouring my eyebrows. I'll add a link to that if you want to check it out. And once I'm done shaping my eyebrows, the only thing I leave out is penciling them in. I add my primer. So I put a little bit on my finger. I like to go with something really close to my skin tone, or maybe a little bit lighter. I don't want to change the color of the eyeshadow. I really want it to pop. So here's what I do. I'm just going to get a little close if you don't mind. So I start with, I got to keep one eye open so I see what I'm doing. I start with just applying it, and I use my fingertips. I'll use my fingertips. I'll use one to put it on and the other to sort of like rub it in. There you have it. I'm going to leave this one fully primed and this one completely bare so you can see the difference. Alright, so I start off with that. I wanted to use this really bold color. This is Electric Eel Satin. It's a really bold color. I know. I love wearing bold colors. There are no rules in makeup for me. And by the way, in terms of eyeshadows, I'll hit up the drugstore any day and just buy, whether it's Revlon, Maybelline. I don't have a real preference. And this one is actually by MAC, and no, I'm not getting paid by MAC to endorse any products, but these are just my favorite items that I like to use for now. But there are times when I would use the department store brands, because I think they're great as well in terms of eyeshadows. Okay, so this is the Electric Eel that I'm putting on. Okay, so I'll put it on my brush, and I'll come in. This is, again, where I use the primer. And I chose this bold color because I wanted you guys to be able to see it very well. And I make sure I get into the crease there. Okay. And it's all about blending. So you can kind of get an idea. And I like really strong, bold colors. And always have a wipe or makeup remover with you, just so you have. And this is, again, I mentioned this before, but I like to do my eye makeup before I even put on my foundation, my base, because of this situation. Sometimes you put your makeup on and, and it would fall like under here, and if you have your base on, you kind of have to clean it off and start all over anyway. So I like to just stick with my eyes first and then apply afterwards, and you'll see how great it comes together. Okay, so that is the prime side. Now I'm going to move on over to the side that doesn't have any primer on at all. I do have a little concealer for contouring purposes, and you can see the difference. You see how it's going on and it's not really sticking? This is what I deal with. Okay, let's try again. Like, it's going on. And this is a really bright color. I should have counted the strokes so we know.
It's 2 o'clock.
Okay. You can kind of see the other side is much brighter. I mean, you could definitely see the color on this side as well, but I just find that this side pops a little more. And if I want this side to be brighter, I have to keep applying. But you'll see the difference, especially after wearing it for a time. You'll find that this side without the primer will start to crease, especially if you have oily skin like me, and it will start to kind of wear off. So again, this side to me pops a little bit more, and the other side, I'm just going to blend this in a little bit, and the other side is just a little bit more, you know, a little less bright. So now I'm gonna go with this one here. I have a darker shadow that I use in my crease, sort of like a brown. And I like to, and again, I'm just going with really, really bold so that you could see the colors. And here's the other side. And both are okay, but again, it's all about having long-lasting eyeshadow. Okay, now this is like finishing powder that I just put on my skin afterwards, that I use in my brow bone. And of course my crease, I use a darker color. I usually like to go with like a dark brown in my crease. I keep that pretty standard, but on my lid I like to play around with different colors. That's just something I do. There's no rules. So this is my blending brush, and I blend and blend and blend. So this is the final look. As you can see, I'm going to come up a little close. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. This one's a little brighter than this one. And I know that if I were to wear this throughout the day, this will start to crease because, again, I have very oily skin and there's nothing underneath this eyeshadow. And this one is a lot more, I'd say, vibrant. And after a long day, because I do wear my makeup all day long pretty much, I work 9 hours, and you know, I am probably wearing makeup for a good 11, maybe 12 hours throughout the day, and it'll last. I never have a problem with it fading or anything like that. And again, you're free to use any primer or any foundation, not foundation necessarily. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. any primer and eyeshadow, it really doesn't matter, but the importance is having the primer on and it lasting. Now I finished up the look with applying my foundation and finishing powder. I also added in some liner and mascara. The only thing I don't have on are my lashes, which are a must for when I work. Normal day, I don't even go all out with all this on my face, but just so you know. And if you have any tips that you want to share, any finds that you have, or specific makeup brands that you like, please share them, because I'm always up for learning about other products and what else that are out there. I feel like I've gone through every single one, but I'm always open. So be sure to hit me up, and I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Thanks so much.